The best part of waking up is I Need a Hobby in your cup or headphones or speakers, and welcome to I Need a Hobby, a podcast. I'm this week's host, Chris. And to my left, he likes his sugar with coffee and cream, Andrew.
Hello.
And to my right, he will order a cup of Joe, but call it a cup of Alex. Alex.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Dude. Pretty good. You know what? I feel like, you know what? That was a compliment you just gave me somehow, and I feel good now.
Yeah, I like that.
Was it?
You get your own drink.
I have a good name. It's Alex. Is a nice.
But it seemed like you were kind of bragging. Like, guys, this is a cup of Alex now. And then meanwhile, you have Joe behind you.
You think people named Joe will be like, I'll have a cup of me, wink, or something like that.
Well, sometimes
they say wink.
Sometimes my dad will order, like an Arnold Palmer, like a lemonade iced tea.
Yeah.
He's been trying to start
a lemonade coffee.
He calls it a Chuck, which is his name.
Wait, he calls the Arnold Palmer a Chuck?
Yeah.
You can't just rename it.
But he'll do it. He'll do it like subtly just to the table. He'll be like, "Can I get half lemonade, half iced tea?" Like, I call that one a Chuck.
That's just a classic dad move right there.
Joke.
Nice.
I like that because I've never really understood why it's called an Arnold Palmer. Just because he liked that.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was that ESPN commercial of him doing it.
Yeah.
He's on some of the cans too.
But he's not.
Arizona,
But he's not like. I mean, iced tea and lemonade have been around way before Arnold Palmer, and there's no way no one mixed them.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it was like a PR thing.
I think it was probably called something else. Chuck, for all we know.
Probably.
And Arnold Palmer was doing what your dad was doing.
Hmm.
You're saying I call that one an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
And then he was famous.
Boom, hole in one.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make a new popular drink and call it like who's a popular athlete? A LeBron James.
Yeah.
This restaurant you can order a LeBron James.
I like it.
But anyway, what is
Cherry Coke?
What is this podcast all about? Here at I Need a Hobby, every week, the three of us, Tris, Alex, and Andrew, will talk about hobbies, challenges, and activities. We worked hard during the 9 to 5. We try to make the most out of the 5 to 9.
Yes.
You bet.
This is a good 9 to 5 episode, actually.
This is
a crucial item of the 9 to 5.
Exactly. During the 9 to 5, outside the 9 to 5,
but
it has its place.
But first, hold on.
Oh.
First, we actually have a pressing issue on
I
hands.
have this big issue that I feel like most of the fans are probably aware that this is going on.
See, I wasn't aware of it until like hours before you texted me.
Okay.
It's
a big deal in our country
ago, yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
The United States.
With the shape of things that are going on, we have a new show on CBS.
Yeah, everyone is stressed out. They're constantly upset. You got to unwind and relax with the next hit show on TV.
Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Explain for the fans at home.
What is going on?
Who Sheldon is? Explain for Andrew, you're a big Sheldon fan, I know. So explain for the fans at home.
So we have this show called The Big Bang Theory, which I would say is the most stock show like ever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the laugh track of sitcoms.
It's notoriously bad. I actually I've
never seen it.
A ton of conversations about this because it's similar to, like, in my mind, it's similar to Taylor Swift, where it's like not good. If you think about it at all, think about judging it at all, you could see that it's not good, but it's so successful.
It's like a cultural phenomenon. I think it's like the most watched comedy ever.
It's
probably,
still like
honestly.
one of the most watched shows.
Like 12 seasons in. It's
like
insane.
I forget what it was. I think they have like 18 million viewers still, which is like unbelievable. So I'm sorry if one of the million of those who overlap with our podcast listeners are Big Bang Theory fans. However, I'm guessing most of you aren't, because there's coming out with a show called Young Sheldon, which looks so bad, so insanely bad. You need to see one preview.
At the time this episode's released, will it have already aired?
You guys in the future have probably all tuned in.
So it
came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we're recording on a Sunday. So tomorrow for us, I honestly
really
want to tune in.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'll say so. I don't really watch Big Bang Theory anymore, but there was a phase where I would like tune in. I feel bad
comparing it to Taylor Swift.
I definitely. Yeah. I don't.
Okay. I don't know enough to say about Big Bang Theory, but what I can say is that from no knowledge at all is that I feel like that character Sheldon is just not funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the show.
Like maybe the show can do okay with some things.
Yeah, the character is extremely bad.
Yeah.
He's like such it's so unrealistic, which is the joke. That's the point. He's supposed to be like a robot of a man, basically.
Yeah, it's insane. And I think...
like, kudos to that guy, whatever, Jim Parsons.
Is that his name? Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, dude. Like,
pretty impressive that he can play a child version of himself.
Yeah, it's insane.
No, but the little kid who's playing it, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that poor kid. He's gonna get butchered in the
it's just
reviews.
Like, I don't know, like the stupid like big line in the trailer is like I want to watch DuckTales, and it's like, oh, what are you gonna learn watching DuckTales? Like,
is that what Young Sheldon says?
Yeah,
I wonder if they call him Young Sheldon in the show too.
I'd love that.
Like a kid wants to is a smart kid
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to watch TV. Like,
yeah, well, that's so great.
how is
that's
this
so funny.
like a plot? Like, if there was no Big Bang Theory,
Dude,
this is like a terrible idea.
It would just be called Sheldon.
well, I think
probably.
every
You don't
show
have
has
to
like
specify, yeah.
like there are other like prequels and like
right.
like spin-off shows and whatnot.
Sure.
You still have to judge that based on just itself. You can't judge
Correct.
it because the other one's around.
Correct.
Sure.
You're right. So that's why we will all be tuning in
Yeah, we'll watch it.
to Young Sheldon.
Another weird
Um,
thing about Jim Parsons is
yeah.
have you guys ever seen the Muppet movie?
No.
No, but he's in there. Right?
He's in it. There's a weird part where he's like, they're singing a song on the piano, and then maybe one character is looking in the mirror, and then the reflection is just Jim Parsons, and like that's the joke that it's Jim Parsons. It was so
That's kinda
weird.
funny.
Like, is that Sheldon?
Also, kind of funny is that
And
he plays a rocket scientist in Hidden Figures. You guys see that movie?
He can only
Oh, yeah,
really
he
do
does. I
one
forgot
role,
about
right?
He's
Yeah.
like typecasted as like the way too smart, like no
know-it-all kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, and I was looking at the cast of Young Sheldon, and he is in it. So perhaps
Is
You
he
know.
just narrating? Or
Well,
is he like
like you said, he plays young Sheldon.
yeah. Well, that's impressive.
yeah, he might be narrating, or he might be like you know what? I bet the show is just more like trying to plug Sheldon. Like it's just Young Sheldon for like
Yeah.
5 minutes, and then it's like, and look what he becomes, and
It's
then
just him trying
here's
to build-
season 1 of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable.
Jeez.
That would be awful. Can't wait though, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought, I mean, I've been dying to talk about Young Sheldon. I just cannot believe
insane,
it. It's
yeah.
just
It is
unbelievable.
truly
Like,
insane.
how is this stuff going on? And I don't know. Maybe
But I'm not surprised. It's what I don't understand.
It's like
it.
there's like we're making billions of dollars off of Big Bang Theory. Like let's just like keep it going.
But
Can
they,
we roll
like-
out another show?
There are so many good TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Why would
especially
you
now,
watch
like with
Young
the Netflix, the
Sheldon?
Hulu, like all
Right.
this stuff that's like getting away from like broadcast primetime, and you're still putting, and even like the broadcast primetime shows that have succeeded, like Blackish or Modern
Yeah.
Family, like there's some
Watch
good
those.
ones out there probably,
Right.
and then there's Young Sheldon.
It makes no sense to me, but
Yeah.
you know what? It'll be a smash hit.
You think better or worse than another show about a younger version of someone famous, Little Bill? If you guys remember that.
Let's not talk Cosby on this podcast, Chris.
I was thinking Bill Gates.
Wait, isn't that a younger version of Bill Cosby?
Yeah, it is.
Or is it Bill Gates? I would watch
I
a
don't
show
know.
about the younger version of Bill Gates.
Yeah, that'd be good. Probably similar to Young Sheldon. honestly.
Yeah, it's like the same
Yeah, it
show.
is. I don't want to watch DuckTales. I want to build a
I
computer,
wanna start
Mom.
Microsoft.
That sounds much funnier.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
trashing Bill Gates for no reason.
yeah, all the bills come at us.
I do like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is one of those celebrities where it's like, because a lot of celebrities they're too aware of themselves and they think like, oh, I can make a stupid, like we talked about George Takei and all that.
Yeah.
They can make a stupid joke on the internet and it doesn't have to be funny and everyone will love them. So they get full of themselves. Bill Gates, he's still just a good guy, you know?
Yeah, he's starting.
Yeah,
his
I agree.
foundation. He's
And that
He wears like clothes he probably bought at Target or something like that. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't care that he's extremely wealthy.
That reminded me of what I was talking about, how I was watching Rick Fox versus Neil deGrasse Tyson Family Feud. I
Yikes.
think we will definitely be watching that together sometime. But it was very, same thing.
Yeah.
The whole Tyson family is they were just what you'd expect. Like
The whole
not in a bad way.
Was Mike Tyson up there?
Sorry, the whole deGrasse Tyson family. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to trash on him. It was a good episode. It's funny. Steve Harvey,
Yep,
good guy.
the best.
Great
Right.
if you think Steve Harvey, very energetic guy,
Yeah.
How does he
pumped
do
up.
it?
How does he do it?
Cocaine.
I think maybe cocaine, but possibly 4 episodes he's drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah, maybe a glass of Joe.
So this week we're talking coffee.
Yeah.
Now, fans
Not-
at home are already
Yeah.
in an uproar. I could hear them.
Is this a hobby?
Challenge, hobby, and activity.
Yeah.
Drink. That's
Yeah,
not
wait,
a challenge,
Quick rant on that. Like,
but it is a hobby.
if you're a podcast listener and you're like, oh, this is not a hobby, blah blah blah, that's okay. You're a podcast listener, that's fine. You're still here, okay. But my roommates are just like, oh, you're doing an episode on coffee, like that's not a hobby.
Yeah, my roommates
Like-
want it too.
Bitch, you haven't listened to a single episode.
Oh,
I've done
that's true.
60. Like,
True.
I don't
You know, we're
care.
doing
I
this-
don't care about your opinion. Start your own podcast. Like,
Yeah.
actually, it's really frustrating when people are like, I don't know, coming at me for, and I don't know. It's
They're coming up to you in the
definitely
streets.
tongue in cheek, but it's still like,
Not a
I don't
hobby.
care about your opinion. Like, you don't
Yeah.
know anything about this
Ooh.
podcast
Ooh,
besides it's
Andrew's
called
getting
I Need
rid
a
of it.
Hobby.
Andrew talking
He's
straight
drank
to
too
the
much
fans.
coffee.
Maybe I'll just show them this
But-
part. But
They're not wrong.
yeah, but like,
Like we
who
strayed,
cares?
we strayed from the format.
Yeah,
And we've
you know what
gotten
happens?
worse
I
because
think,
of it. They're
I
not
think,
wrong.
I think we're season 2. We made a few changes. Now we're
Yeah,
talking.
this
we're already halfway through season 2. Do you guys
Yeah.
know that?
Yep. It's
I
coming
think,
to the end.
Maybe this might be the last episode. Who knows?
Yeah, this could be the final.
Yeah.
This is
Of
gonna be the
season
season 2 finale. In the series finale.
Jesus.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Coffee would be a weird one to get.
Yeah. All the people seeing
I'm energetic.
all the people listening to our podcast in the future see their last episode's coffee. That's not even a hobby.
Did you see we started a new podcast on coffee?
All right. That was my rant.
Coffee is a hobby. I will stand by that.
Yeah.
Coffee, like, you could drink it obviously and not have it be your hobby, but some people have coffee as their hobby for sure.
Because you're right. It's like it isn't, or whatever. Maybe it's not like a traditional hobby, but or not me specifically, but the general public will have coffee more than they go bowling, you know?
For sure. God, yeah, good comparison.
It's just something you'll do a
but
lot.
like we were saying a couple episodes ago, it's 2017. Anything could be a hobby now. Like
Exactly,
there's a culture behind.
There's a forum
coffee.
for everything, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's talking about something.
And it's great.
I kind of want to start just, we do this a lot on the episodes. Let's talk backgrounds on coffee. Kind of, when'd you get into coffee? Are you into coffee? How much coffee you drinking?
You want me to start, or you want to start, Andrew?
Alex,
I know Andrew's a little different than us.
Yeah, so Andrew, you can start it off.
You want me to start then?
Sure.
Okay, so I'd say before this week, I've had about 10 cups of coffee in my entire life.
Was it at that? It was probably at that local contest that we did. It was like, how fast can you drink 10 cups of coffee?
Yeah, I know. I got last too, so I don't really know why I wasted it all on that.
It's too hot.
But yeah, maybe a little less than 10, honestly. Like I can only think of a couple times where I've gotten a coffee. I've never ordered a coffee. Like it's all been like free coffee or like given to me.
So even in your college days when you're like,
even in my college days, I can think of like 1 or 2 times. I've never take it at night. Drink it at night. It would just be like I would stay up super late. I'd only get like 3 hours of sleep, and then I'd have coffee.
The next day.
I'm saying that happened 2 to 3 times at most. I had a little bit in high school,
and
then a little bit recently.
And the other times that you were having it, why were you having it? Was it just like?
Cool.
It would just be like randomly. Like I would have some of my mom's coffee and be like, "That's not good." I guess that doesn't.
Yeah, that's
count.
a classic childhood. I feel like everyone has experienced
coffee.
I guess
like, you'll like it when you're older.
But I've I guess I've had it at like I don't know. Like I remember there's like staff trainings for like jobs that I've had, and it's like a all day thing, and you have breakfast, and they bring you coffee. Yeah. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll have some.
And what are you thinking when you're having?
I've never ordered at a restaurant.
Are you thinking like I could get into this, or are you thinking like
no.
you're struggling through drinking this?
It's very neutral, and
okay.
I guess I won't reveal too much, but it's kind of been my experience is that like I like the idea of coffee as like a culture or like a kind of like way to start your day. It's probably good, but like it's probably not that good for you. It's kind of expensive. Like it adds up, as in I don't know.
Yeah,
and I haven't had it my whole life.
If you're going out to buy it, it gets
why
expensive,
start
yeah.
is kind of what I'm thinking. But at the same time, like I am not a morning person at all, and I would like to be.
Yeah.
So perhaps it would actually help me. I don't know. So my coffee background is I'd say about
slim to none. 10 cups
at
or
this
less.
point. I've probably had it about 10 cups or less in my entire life. Never had more than twice in a day. That might change today though.
Okay.
So
my coffee background. I didn't drink it in high school. You remember in high school when people would come to school with coffee?
Yeah,
and it's
we had those kids who
it's
come
like,
with
what are you
Dunkin'
thinking?
Donuts.
Like, you stopped at Dunkin'. We have to get here at 7 a.m.
Exactly, yeah.
Was your bus pulling through the drive-thru? Oh my god!
Who wants some?
So yeah, I would bring Dunkin' to class in high school. No, but I didn't drink it in high school. Same thing. I would have a taste of my dad's coffee or something, and it was disgusting. Which is weird to think now because a lot of people will put a ton of sugar and cream in their coffee, so it really won't taste like coffee anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But that would probably still taste disgusting. Like there's enough of that just coffee flavor in it
foreignness.
that if you don't like,
yeah,
it tastes bad. And then I remember in college, so I had a Dunkachino one time, which is hot. I call it a Chuck, but it's a mixture of coffee and hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I could get into this. It's really just a hot chocolate.
Oh, you know what? There was a phase that I had in middle school where I would have hot chocolate every morning. So that's like
that's not coffee at all.
Yeah, but no, but it's like the idea is similar
sure.
in a way. Yeah.
I would do that. I would probably prefer that to coffee.
Hot chocolate's good.
And then I started drinking iced coffees, like the flavored iced coffees, which I think this is a pretty classic like jump start into coffee.
Yeah.
Like you put a lot of sugar in or whatever, so
right.
it doesn't really taste like coffee anymore, and you creep into actually drinking coffee. And then in college, which is I think a classic thing with a lot of people, you start in college because you're not sleeping as much. You're going to ragers, you're going to parties, freaking shindigs. You got to fuel up in the morning, baby.
Letting your freak flag fly.
And then you got to take that 8 a.m. at 10.
I was homeschooled though, so I really didn't do any of that. No,
you let your freak flag fly just in your room by yourself.
The opposite of
just Googling how to have fun at homeschooled college.
What is a freak flag?
University of Phoenix frats.
Homeschooled college. That's not called homeschool. That's called like an online degree.
Very similar.
And it's very prestigious. Okay.
And then, so yeah, now I drink it all the time. I really drank it a lot in college. But even like I drink a lot of coffee now. I'll drink at least 2 cups a day, sometimes more. But I also work pretty early in the mornings a lot.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
true.
really coffee I drink because I enjoy it, but at the same time, like I feel like I do need it.
So yeah, I feel like I've had a problem where I would take a lot of naps in college, and I stopped that now. But maybe if I had just had coffee, but like there would be days where I'm just like, just get 2 p.m. You get your nap in,
No,
like you're
but
fine.
see, I still
And that
prioritize a nap because
I
I'll
don't
have days
think
where
that's a good
I
idea.
work early, so I'm drinking coffee. Then I get out of work and I'm tired. It's like noon maybe.
Yeah.
Or like 1. And I'm like, I'm going to grab a coffee. And then I'm thinking to myself, but I really want to take a nap. And if I'm drinking coffee, it's going to be hard to take a nap. And I'll go for the nap, you know?
Yeah, but yours is different because you're getting up like, you're saying
Yeah,
like
it is
early.
early,
You're saying
yeah.
like potentially 5 a.m.
But I think
right?
it's,
Really?
yeah, but I think it's like, yeah, I don't know. What's the difference? I think just a restful nap does so much more than coffee would.
That's probably true. I just
For
think
me,
that, I don't know. I don't like getting my sleep schedule all
Yeah,
out
that's
of
a good
whack
point.
and
That's
whatnot.
true.
Yeah.
And another thing with me is that I can sleep really well. I don't know if that'll ever be an episode.
Nice brag.
Yeah, that's the truth. So
An
like,
episode on your sleeping.
so like, I feel like if I get, it's probably good for me to get like 8 hours, but if uninhibited, I'll just get like 10 hours, and maybe I don't need that. So maybe I don't need the nap. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what about you, Chris? You've been awfully quiet over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
So,
your coffee background?
pretty similar to Alex. I didn't drink in high school. Even the first couple years at college, I didn't, and I remember thinking the same thing Andrew thinks, like, oh, I don't need it. Like, I haven't drank it yet. Like, why start?
That SpongeBob episode.
It's weird because like
I need it.
Yeah, exactly. Then one day I had
it's weird that like, but coffee like you don't drink it just because that's a classic like excuse to not drink coffee, but it also tastes really good. You know?
Yeah, you could say like you don't just drink beer because you want to get drunk.
Right. I don't need like juice.
At least not everyone. Yeah.
You know,
it's
but
like,
it tastes good sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Soda for sure. You know.
So I said it a million times on the podcast, but I studied abroad in Italy, and there they had a espresso machine.
Okay.
Kind of like a vending machine, which was pretty cool. And so I started. The first one I had was
you put coins in?
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
I don't
actually.
remember how much it was, but it was really cool, and like everyone was doing it. The first ones I would start, there was, I forget what it was called, but it was basically like hot chocolate. It maybe had like a little bit of coffee.
It was probably the Chuck.
Yeah, it was the Chuck. Yeah, that's what I called it. Coffee Chuck. And so I started with that, and then kind of going off that, like when I was abroad, like it was kind of like we were traveling a lot, and we were staying up late, and then like I still went to school.
See, I think if I had an experience like that,
Mhm.
where like you're vacationing, you're abroad, you're with totally like immersed, I think I would have done that.
Yeah.
like because it's more of the culture.
I was gonna say,
Exactly.
especially when you're going to Europe, like
I mean, I guess
like
I was in
yeah.
France.
it's even more of a culture in Europe.
Guess
than
I
it is in
can't. We
America.
can't let this podcast go.
Yeah, I was
we
gonna
know
say,
Chris studied abroad.
every
we have to
episode-
remember
We know
that
you went
I
to
also
France.
studied
Yeah.
abroad for 4 weeks.
And Alex did.
This podcast is going to turn into Andrew telling his roommates, "Oh, we're doing coffee," and they're going to say, that's not about studying abroad."
But so, and then also while I was there, I found like a local like espresso kind of place, which I like got to know the people there. That was cool. So I would go stop by there every day. Then I'm back in America, and I'm like, like maybe I'll start drinking this normal coffee because they don't have just like your standard type of coffee there. It's all like espresso
you
drinks.
can get an Americano, isn't that?
Yeah, that's the equivalent, but an Americano is just espresso with water in it, which is like
right.
not exactly the same. Come back, start drinking coffee, and then today I'd say something like Alex, probably 2 cups a day. Usually
Both in the morning?
Usually right when I wake up / around then, and then sometimes around like 2 o'clock.
That is
Oh, see,
ridiculous.
I'm
to me,
against.
to be
I don't
honest.
like drinking coffee after noon.
Really?
'Cause I feel like
yeah.
it alters my
I
sleep.
think
That's
it
just
ma-
not a
it
good
I would
idea,
do
I
2
feel like.
o'clock, but I wouldn't make a cup of coffee at 2 o'clock because then I'm not going to finish it until like 3. I'm in bed by 6. I'm not going to be able to fall asleep till
I'd
9.
say it's kind of like it's kind of part of my like work culture also a little bit is like around then someone will be like, oh, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Like there's a Keurig machine and everyone will walk to it.
And if you're
from,
used
like,
to
the
that.
cafeteria, yeah.
Like I'm not used to it, so if I have extra caffeine in my body in the afternoon, I'm not going to be able to sleep.
See,
Your body's used to it, so you obviously know that you could still sleep.
I would also say I'm not like very affected by caffeine. Like if I drink, I could probably drink a cup of coffee and go to sleep like 10 minutes later. Like it's not really.
So then why do you even drink it then?
Because it tastes good, dude.
Yeah, because I like it.
What do you mean? Why? We just talked about this. It tastes good. Dude.
Okay. I'll stop.
Now my question is, you're drinking Keurig coffee, which is like not. It's probably not that good.
Mm-hmm.
That might be like a low caffeine. Like there might not be that much caffeine in there.
So I'll do that Keurig, and then there's also like a cafeteria type place where they have coffee.
Because based on
I'll go to the Keurig more just because it's free. But
yeah.
The other one,
I mean, I don't blame you. I would do the same thing. That's another thing. So many people are coffee snobs.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue how to differentiate. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've had bad coffee and I've had really good coffee, but most of the coffee I've ever drank in my life is like just good enough.
It's just fine. Yeah.
And that's fine with me. You know?
I kind of agree. Yeah, I don't know, because when I started, it was the espresso, and then coming back, it was just like I started with like Keurigs, just like at my parents' house, and then when I went.
So that's
like I did the same thing,
or like even in the
not after I studied abroad.
But did you have like cream and sugar or no?
No, I remember it kind of similar.
Well, because you started with Italy.
So I started with Italy, and then I remember it kind of like a thing I was thinking was just like, oh, I'll drink it black, and then like if I like that, then like maybe, and then actually nowadays I kind of transitioned. I'll usually put a little splash of milk, no sugar, and I'll also sometimes do the flavored ones, just like if something sounds interesting.
All right, now we're getting into present day.
I have another rant actually.
Oh
I want to say real quick.
This is insane to me.
So I wasn't sure because I said this to my roommates as well, and they disagreed with me. But as someone who's a non-coffee drinker and doesn't, I guess I'm maybe interested in starting, but not like a whole lot. Mm-hmm. I hate when people say like, oh, I can't believe how much soda I drank as a kid. And they have like 3 cups of coffee with like cream and sugar every day.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is that being hypocritical? Or because my friends were like, oh no, the stuff in soda is so much worse. You have no idea. But they're like heavy coffee drinkers. So I don't know if they were like
it depends.
Just trying to defend themselves. But I was thinking like it's like don't order a smoothie because it has so much sugar. Like, yeah, but I don't know if 3 cups of coffee. I don't know if that's that good
see
for
people go to
the
Dunkin' Donuts. And I don't want to talk about Dunkin' Donuts too much on this podcast.
Right, because they declined.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. We don't want people to think our podcast is sponsored. For God's sake,
we tried. We did try.
You see people going to Dunkin' Donuts and it's like 15 creams and they like nonstop pouring the sugar in there, and it's like you're killing yourself with that. You know? Like, you actually are.
Stop.
But at the same time, there's like different sweeteners and stuff you could use that aren't going to be in soda. Like soda is probably much worse than
I agree,
coffee.
But I just don't like the idea of just like, I can't believe that. And then like, I don't know, like I just have water mostly. And then sometimes I'll have like orange juice, and I feel like people will be like, you know how much sugar's in orange juice? Yeah. Like, I don't care.
I guess it depends what you're doing with your coffee, because there are people
because coffee itself isn't bad.
Coffee is not fueling it. You just are drinking it normal,
right?
So like I said, like I'll do like a splash of milk, like that's fine, you know.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
But yeah, the people are like, and I also think there's like a misconception sometimes, like, I think when I was growing up, I didn't realize like what like a latte was and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, same.
It's basically just like a milkshake. All those Starbucks drinks are so sugary, and I've had.
Isn't a latte just cream and it's like
I would not
cream?
know. I remember you said Dunkaccino, right?
Yeah, that's more what I'm thinking.
I remember
like
I wanted a Dunkaccino when I was a kid just because of the commercial and the name, and then I was
that's good marketing.
Yeah, I know, and I got that's one of the times I'm remembering is my mom got me one, and I was like, this is gross.
Dunkin' has a good advertisement team behind them.
Yeah,
and they actually asked us to sponsor the pod, but we said
we turned down.
We don't sponsor our podcast with fat cats like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
We're looking for local coffee shops.
I will say this: so a latte, I believe you're right, is just espresso with milk, but
are we gonna have another one of those like cooking terms?
I thought about it. I have a new section that
right, but you're right. If you order like
if you get like a
blah 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 latte or something like that at Starbucks or Dunkin', it's got anything that's flavored at these places, or even tastes sweet at all, is
it's more or less like
sugar or artificial sweetener,
right?
No doubt.
So that's why I've only basically exclusively had black coffee. I don't even think I would like it otherwise, and I don't want to try because it's like if I open this, I don't know, if I open this door to having coffee, then I'm probably getting like a little more unhealthier.
It's like you sound like you're talking about like
make it worse. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I'm interested in Scientology, but if I go to one meeting, I know it's gonna suck me in.
Yeah.
See, when I started drinking coffee, like I said, I put like the flavor, like a French vanilla Coffee Mate or whatever in there. Then I stopped, but now when I drink it at home, I'll just go black. But if I get it somewhere else, I'll go with cream. I don't know why. For some reason, when I get coffee, It could be because it's like sitting out longer, so maybe it tastes worse. Like McDonald's, I think has the best coffee.
They do have good coffee.
I did not get to have McDonald's.
McDonald's, they tried to sponsor our podcast. They said, "Listen, Alex has been quoted saying he thinks this is the best coffee. We'll give you some, we'll give you some coupons if you talk about us." No, McDonald's, Ronald, we're not talking about you on our podcast.
Straight to that Ronald
through money.
Yeah.
Straight from the horse's
But their
mouth.
cream, just cream coffee at McDonald's, I think it's delicious.
Really?
It's so good, just $1.
It's interesting. I remember hearing McDonald's. So years ago, they had notoriously terrible coffee, and then
really?
they totally like relaunched.
I remember when they
now they have
remarketed
Newman's
the
Own.
Newman's Own.
Newman's Own. That was it. Yeah.
And I remember like when it came out, there was like a promotion at a time where it's like if you came before 9 a.m., you got a free coffee. Like,
That's great.
I actually think it was no order necessary,
And
just
all
for
you have
like
to-
a couple weeks,
and all-
just to like prove to the country that they did stuff.
All you have to do is use our
Great stuff.
discount code.
Yeah.
I need a hobby
Yeah,
at the checkout window. That's
Crazy
great.
that they had that discount code 10 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is for me right now. Black at home. I think for you, Andrew, though, more people like coffee with stuff in it.
Yeah, but
So you should try that.
That's the thing is that I like it black. I don't mind the taste. I think it's
You're not hooked.
I actually like it. Like obviously you were saying that when you're a kid you have that moment where you try it and then you're like, this is disgusting. I'm not at that point. I just don't feel really any need to have it but like at the same time perhaps it would be better for me. I think I mentioned that earlier. Like perhaps it would be like a good addition to my morning. But I just don't really
because I think
have
you
any
need
reason.
to have
I don't know.
It tastes good, but you have to be like almost forced to drink coffee.
But that's not a
get
good
that-
thing. Aren't I fine just
I'm happy
as
about
is?
it. I love coffee.
Like
now.
if you guys
Oh
stop
no, I'm
drinking-
saying that's why if you continue like this, you'll never probably be a big coffee guy.
Right.
Unless you have like
Which is fine. Yeah, like, I don't think.
See, and I've heard mixed
that's
things.
what I'm saying, it's
I
fine.
basically before this podcast episode, because you guys, like you're saying, you guys talk about. Oh, this might have been off mic actually, but me and Chris talk about coffee a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I picked up on that, and I would ask people like, what do you guys think? Should I start drinking coffee? I haven't drank coffee, blah blah. Obviously, they could care less.
Did you feel left out, dude? I'm sorry. I
it's
didn't
all right,
realize it. No, I feel bad.
We'll talk
I mean, it
about,
was off mic.
What'd you say? You drink
We
water?
never talked
We can talk
to you
about
off
water.
mic.
next time.
Yeah, can we do an episode on water?
Talking about water.
Yeah.
That's a hobby.
You know what I like in my water? It's like when you warm it up, run it through some ground, like coffee beans even, and then like push it. Oh, so
Some
Chris, what do you
Arabica?
think about
Yeah,
that? It's so
yeah,
good though,
usually
isn't
do
it?
100%
Yeah, I like
Shut up.
Arabica.
It's so good.
So I would ask people like, should I drink coffee? And it would be like mixed reviews. Like, do you think you need it? Like, I don't know. Never really had it. Like, probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It's just that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still.
But
at
I think
that
it is
point.
kind of a weird thing. Like in my office, like I said, it's kind of like I feel like there's like a coffee culture, which sounds weird.
Right.
But
It
it's
is
like
though, and I like that.
something that people talk about, which I enjoy too, because it's like, oh yeah, let's all go sometimes in the morning.
Yeah, and
I'll
I'm
go.
down for that.
But
I just haven't
I
experienced
also
that.
have seen there's a couple people who I worked with who don't drink coffee, and people will be like, I don't know how you do it, man. Like
Loser.
they're just like, I just don't like.
See, and I don't like that.
I
either.
would never
They're
say
like-
that to someone.
They're like,
but-
I don't know how you do it because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know either. I just have never drank coffee,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there I am.
Because I could easily. I mean, I don't know if I'm addicted to caffeine.
That's what I was gonna ask.
But
You-
I could break off my coffee. I would be unhappy for a week. But
Would
once
you guys
once
get
you
headaches?
settle
you
back
think?
I have
into it.
gotten headaches before. But I guess
No,
it's-
I remember
It's
during.
kind of like the thing, like I don't know, because honestly, there's only been like a couple
Like,
days.
what
in
does
the
it
last
feel?
few months
Does it feel like a hangover, or does it feel like just
no,
like
I don't know. I drink
tired
coffee
or
every
like-
day. So I don't know.
yeah, it's funny. I remember talking to my roommate from college about it one time, and he was like, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous. Like, I don't really want to get addicted, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, you just can keep doing it, and then you won't have to worry about headaches. And I was like, that sounds like, imagine if you said the same about
that's like
cigarettes. Like,
Yeah.
well, if
Yeah.
you just keep smoking cigarettes, then
I remember
you don't have to worry about that.
during Hurricane Irene, I think. Maybe it was the hurricane before that because I feel like I was younger. We lost power, and I remember my parents were like freaking out because they're like, "Oh, we have to have coffee. How are we gonna?" And now I'm like, that's like I would do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, that was
I even
funny.
saw a video of someone on recently after Hurricane Irma. And they're trying to go into a gas station like right when the storm's going, and it was locked. And there was a news reporter there, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?" She's like, "Oh, I just need my coffee."
That's
That is-
that's
that's
admirable.
insane.
I don't know if I
guess
do
not,
it.
yeah, but
That
not
is
for
actually
Irma.
insane,
For
but, like-
Hurricane Irene, which was like big, but not big. Like for Hurricane Irma, it's like you should just go
Yeah, seriously.
evacuate,
That'd
please.
be bad.
Should we talk about like what do you guys like? Even Chris, you especially.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about getting coffee out? Like, what's your deal there?
So yeah,
I don't know why it took me so long to guess
That was a
that.
tough one.
What's your deal, dude?
Yeah, I'd say we kind of
Like
talked
we
about
talking iced, we talking
Yeah.
hot, we talking
yeah.
cold brew. You
For
know?
sure, I'd say
That's
I
hip.
am by no means a coffee snob. I drink a good amount of coffee, but I'm not like a snob about it. Like I will go to there's a gas station right by my work, Cumberland Farms, and I'll stop there like a lot of mornings because it's just $1.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like the $1 versus. Like,
It's dollar
$1
any
cup.
size, right?
Yeah, and you get the freaking giant cup. You can see the cup behind. I'm hyping up.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh!
that's
I was
huge.
wondering what was casting this massive shadow over our table.
But I'll get the $1 coffee there. But I'm also I feel like cold brew is like a thing. these
Okay,
days.
so
Yeah, let's talk cold brew.
Wait, real quick. So
No.
so today was a really hot day for like late
Mhm.
September,
Yeah, it was really
and
hot.
and I went to get my coffee, just my weekly coffee because I
cup
don't
of
really
chai.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Went to Dunkin' Donuts before coming here, and I just got was like, yeah, could I have a black coffee? And it was hot, which was fine, but I was like, maybe I should have got iced coffee, but like I've never done that, so I didn't
Yeah.
want to like mess with the balance here.
But that's the worst. when
And
you
then the
expect-
guy comes in from behind me and is just like cold brew black, and like I was like, what is that? Is that iced coffee? I have no
Yeah.
idea what that is.
Oh,
So
you don't know
like-
what cold brew is?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was iced coffee,
So
and
it's
I was
similar.
thinking like, I should have got
it is
iced
a nice coffee though. It's like a
But I don't
subsection
even
of
know
iced
what it
coffee,
is.
I think
right? Would
so.
you
I
say
think
that?
the difference is how they make it. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure iced coffee is made. It's coffee that you brew normally and
Made
then-
hot.
and made hot and then cooled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cold brew, the way you make it, and I do make it on my own, which I wanted to get into a little.
Ooh, yeah.
I have a cold brew maker. So basically, what you do is I have this like pitcher that has like a little.
Is
like
it like Breaking Bad where they had like that? Remember the fancy coffee machine in Breaking Bad they had?
Maybe I've
You
never
guys
seen
didn't watch
Breaking
Breaking
Bad.
Bad.
No,
Never mind.
I didn't watch
But
enough.
basically, it has something in the middle that you can put coffee beans into. So you
Okay.
grind the coffee beans, you put it in there, you fill it up with water. So now
Cold
it's like,
water or room temperature even. Not hot. Not hot. Is what
not
I'm
hot. Not hot. And you put it in the fridge for 24 hours, and then
Yeah.
it turns into cold brew coffee. So you're not actually like
So
brewing
now-
it with the heat. You're brewing it with like the time. I
Yeah,
guess,
it's like
essentially.
soaking in the beans in
Yeah.
instead of like I don't know burning through them. Or
So
but I've
that does
done
not
it.
sound good to me. at
I've
all.
done it with a French press,
yeah,
and you
can do
could.
that
So
as
it's like
well.
the same thing. So I don't know. Like people are selling these cold brew makers.
Mhm.
Do you really need all that? Like you
don't know if
make
you
it, so
do.
you would like if it works, it works. But
Yeah.
I feel like because I do that. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
I just put it in. I fill it with water. I think it's so much better than an iced
Do you
coffee.
do it with
to be
cold
honest.
water?
I do. I put it in the fridge, so
Okay,
it's
so-
whatever water. But then it
So when you're making,
I don't put it. I don't do hot water.
Okay.
If I do cold brew, I don't.
But
do
can
hot
you
water.
make it right? Can you drink it right away?
No, same
With the
thing. It has to
okay,
wait.
Gotcha.
It's the same thing except it's in the French press instead of a cold brew maker. So I don't get it.
Yeah. See, I'd say I enjoy cold brew, but I have the thing, and it's this little pitcher that I got for like $15 at Target or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't use it as much as I would like to, just because like
You want that instant coffee?
yeah, it's like in the morning I wake up and I want
Right.
it. And it's
That's
like,
why I say it
takes a
doesn't
day.
sound that appealing.
Yeah,
it's
like-
good. I like.
And also, like, isn't a warm like I said in middle school, I had the hot chocolate.
Mhm.
Like, it was just a warm drink to like get me going.
Mm.
Really feels good in
Nah.
the morning.
iced coffee superior.
See,
for
so
sure.
I'd say yeah.
Really?
So
no
when,
doubt.
when
yeah.
I started as a
Wow.
coffee drinker, I was exclusively hot coffee drinker. And then I think it was just one summer I started drinking cold like iced coffee, and I was like, I like this so much more.
Yeah.
So now it's like if I'm ordering coffee, it'll be iced unless it's like free somewhere. I'm getting a
Yeah.
hot coffee, or like sometimes when it's really cold out, But
So you get like
See,
a black
still
coffee.
if
like
it's
a
freezing
black
out-
iced coffee, that doesn't sound that good.
Well, so what I was gonna say
well, yeah,
is
I'll usually do a splash of milk, kind of like I said. But
Okay, the same thing.
I think a black iced coffee from anywhere really, if it's iced coffee and it's just black, is fine. It tastes good. But I think a black cold, if I'm gonna buy and they have the option for a cold brew,
Mhm.
I would rather have that over an iced coffee.
Yeah, I
Because a
think-
cold brew, like, I feel like actually tastes a lot better.
we might have some
Justin
black iced
is-
coffee in the studio. Is
Yeah,
that
we
true?
I
do.
hope so.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
boy.
speaking of cold brew
Hyping it
though,
up.
you guys know our producer Todd.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
He offered
It's right
me.
here.
I was hanging out with him the other day, and he's like, "Hey Alex, do you want some cold brew? I just made a batch.
Mhm.
Like, it took me 24 hours. Like, I slaved away on it. Do you want some?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Todd, yeah, you know I love coffee."
Yeah.
He grabbed it, he put it in the microwave, and warmed it up.
Oh my god.
And he said,
Jeez.
"Careful, it's hot." Todd,
Yeah.
what is this cold brew? What a jerk!
Yeah.
You know what he was doing? I was gonna save this for, as some of the listeners might know, we're all currently doing the Whole 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this for the episode,
Diet
but,
challenge.
Yeah.
in the Whole 30 diet, you're unable to have like any added sugars or there's a bunch of stuff you can't have. And I was making a meal with Todd the other day, and it was going really well. And right when I'm not looking, he pulls out a bottle of ketchup and he pours it all over the meal. Isn't that
What's he
insane?
thinking?
That's
Yeah.
I was just like, dude,
He's
do you
got an
understand?
issue.
Like we're
It's like he wants to prank us, but like it's never. Like I was having dinner with him the other day actually,
Yeah.
and sometimes like at a dessert, it's good to compare like coffee with a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Like you have cake and coffee.
yeah.
It's at night. It's just 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Sure.
And he goes, Alex, do you want some coffee? I got decaf. Because he knows it's late. I don't like drinking caffeine after 12.
Yeah, sure.
I go, oh, that'd be great, Todd. You know I love coffee. And he goes, I know. I didn't know you loved that cold brew earlier. So I was like, yeah, I'll have some decaf. He pours me a cup. I'm drinking. I'm halfway through and he goes, how's it that decaf? It was caffeine, full of caffeine. That guy gave me a full caffeine. I knew it. I haven't slept since.
Did I tell you
What's
guys
he thinking?
I tell you guys what he did to me the other day?
No.
And he's in the studio. He's snickering.
Look at his little smirk. He's sipping on his coffee. Actually decaf. So I'm at work and I kind of said like sometimes we'll get some free coffee. They'll just leave out a pitch. So there's a table and they left out a big thing of coffee, for everyone to have. Everyone was excited.
Yeah.
I look over, Todd's throwing it all out. Says he's cleaning up the table.
What's he thinking?
Thinks he's helping us. Hey, I wanted that cup of Joe.
He's snickering. He's loving this.
Yeah, jeez, that's messed up.
All right, back to the coffee.
Yeah,
anyway.
I took away the ketchup, so.
But anyway, I'd say. Just to say like how I guess big coffee is I live in an apartment with 3 people and we have 3 different mechanisms to make coffee. I'm realizing we have your standard drip, whatever. Yep. You got a Keurig and you got that cold brew machine I was talking about.
So and you don't have a French press?
I would also like a
you
French press.
You got to get a French press. I've been preaching it to everyone. French press, you've seen them. It's just like a glass. It's like, what are those chemistry? It's like a beaker, but not a thin one. Not a graduated cylinder.
No, it's still in the high school one, right?
Yeah, it's undergrad.
Sure. It's in 11th grade.
And you put the coffee beans in, and then you pour hot water on it, and you wait a few minutes. So it takes a little longer, a little more effort maybe. Then you plunge it down.
Oh, my mom uses that.
It's 10 times better than a drip coffee. Yeah, to be honest.
That's cool.
I use it every day. Now I live with 2 other people, but I used to live with 3 other people. I'm the only coffee drinker.
Wow.
One of my roommates occasionally will drink. He'll use the drip machine that we have. But yeah, I'm the main one every day.
So I wanted to bring something up that Todd's story got me thinking again. Decaf coffee. We never even talked about that.
Yeah.
I've never, once again, as a novice coffee drinker, I never even thought about
good.
it.
You're going to say, what's the point? It tastes good.
No. I've never, is that, do you guys have decaf? Does it affect your decision?
I would have decaf. Sometimes we'll have a family party or something, and like I said, we'll have a dessert.
And how does that work? Do you buy decaf coffee beans?
Yeah, I don't really know.
So I think there's still a little bit of caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Actually. It's almost like doesn't O'Doul's have a little bit of alcohol?
Yeah,
in it? So it's the same idea there, but it's just very light.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have literally no clue how they do it.
Yeah, I'd say the only time I'm having it is if kind of like you said, sometimes at a family party, someone will throw in a pot of coffee when we're eating cake or something.
Yeah.
Or
it pairs well.
Or alternatively, if I just drank a cup of coffee and then I'm in a situation where like I said, at a work thing or something where everyone's drinking coffee, I'm I don't know if I want to have 2 back to back.
That's pretty smooth.
If it's there, maybe I'll go with the decaf.
I could just see Chris's inner monologue being
shit.
God, I just had coffee.
I really need a French press.
Decaf. All right, I'll do that
for my big meetings.
But yeah, I have times where I'm going to bed at night and thinking I could really go for some coffee. Just the taste, I could really go for it.
That is so weird to me.
I've talked about the coffee brownies that my mom makes on this podcast.
Yeah.
I got a fresh batch waiting for me after the whole 30.
I
can't wait.
Save one of those bad boys for me.
Yeah. That'll be so good.
Let's move. Do we have anything else to say about coffee? I feel like
one question I wanted to pose to mostly Alex. Sorry, Andrew, you're being left out sometimes.
That's okay.
But I'd say,
let's not talk about water.
Is there a memorable cup of coffee you've had in your life? Or
this is a great question.
Can you remember a best coffee you've ever had?
Now I'll tell you.
I have 3 or 4.
Whoa, wait! I have a mythical cup of coffee that I've had and I've never found since. But first I'll say, when I first started having iced coffee, I would have the mocha iced coffee at Dunkin' with cream and sugar. So it's chocolate syrup in the coffee with cream and sugar.
That's what mocha is?
Yeah, it's chocolate, yeah.
Okay. Because I know what I can visualize it, but I never knew what it was called.
Yeah, okay. And that was good because you would get the delicious. It's delicious. It tastes. It's a dessert.
Yeah.
And then you would get the granulated sugar still at the bottom because it doesn't melt in. That is so it's so good. It's delicious.
So that's
I probably haven't had one since 2012.
Yeah.
But Dunkin' always has these weird flavors come out. They had a caramel turtle iced coffee one time, which is this what's a caramel turtle? It's a pecan or almonds maybe. It's nuts with caramel and chocolate.
Yeah.
So it's this nut flavored coffee with caramel and chocolate. And it was unbelievable. It was so good. It was at Dunkin' Donuts.
They do a good job with those flavors.
The best sip I've ever had in my life. It was great. It was delicious. they've never brought it back.
Wow.
I don't know where it is. I've gone in like probably mere months after it happened. I went in and said, "Do you guys still have the caramel turtle?" And they said, "I don't even know what that is."
Really?
I don't know what happened. I feel like I jumped into a different dimension
That
or
would be
something.
like
I
a
had just a
hilarious
glass.
dream to have. Just like a made up swirl.
But
so
what about you,
interesting.
Chris? Let's hear about that.
So I have a couple that I'm thinking of. One, there's this place, Mary Lou's. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah,
have heard
people
of it.
love Mary. I've
It's
never
in,
had it.
It's like in the Cape in Massachusetts.
It's local.
It's but it's just like Cape Cod in the Massachusetts. And they do, and like I said, I'm not usually big on like the sweet kind of coffees, but they do all sorts of syrups. Like that's their thing.
Yeah.
It's like the really sweet ones. And I got a Girl Scout cookie one, which was like thin mint
Like thin mint?
flavored.
Ooh, man.
So good. That one was great.
See-
Another
see,
one.
That
I-
sounds.
I- I'll
But
crap
they
on
have
flavored
they have tons of other
coffees
flavors, yeah.
because
That was
it's like it's a dessert.
yeah.
But they do. Some of them
Yeah.
taste
But
so
then-
good. I'm not gonna lie.
A second one that I want to get into was I went to Los Angeles at the beginning of the summer,
Yep.
and they have a lot of like that's a big thing there is like all the coffee
Yeah,
shops and stuff
like
like
New York
that.
probably too.
And I walked by and I remembered hearing about this place on like another podcast or something. It's called like Intelligentsia, and it's
Okay.
this like very hipster like crazy coffee shop.
Chris walks in. I'm home.
Yeah, and I remember it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it's like I really didn't need a cup of coffee, but
Yeah.
I heard this place was like the best, so I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta do it. So I go in and it's like insanely expensive. It's like $6 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they do like they're French pressing it there for you.
Oh man. That's nice.
I do it. I wait for like probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Get it.
How was it?
Great cup of
Oh,
coffee.
see, you got to get a French press, man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
See,
Huh.
that's awesome,
Yeah.
Andrew. You'll never have these. Look at,
Yeah.
look at me and Chris are
This is a
smiling
moment
from
I will
ear to
never
ear.
have in my life.
I
No,
do
I don't
love
know.
coffee.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
Yeah.
that interesting to me.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? We just freaking bawled our eyes out talking about our happiest experiences
I
in
bet
life, and it doesn't.
if you're a
interesting.
listener and you have a similar story, or I don't know,
Yeah.
think back to a cup of coffee, a memorable cup
Yeah.
of coffee. You know, I bet you can really vibe with Chris and Alex. They're looking for a replacement for
Yeah, replacement
couple
host,
weeks,
please.
So.
Yeah.
Email in, I need a
yeah.
hobbypod@gmail.com.
But
I-
like as good as those coffees are,
Mhm.
still just I'll go to a gas station,
Yeah,
get a cheap
that's just
89 or $1 cup coffee, just as good.
Yeah,
baby,
and I'd say I
just
don't
as
know.
good.
With you, it's not coffee, maybe, but like I'm sure there's something that you're like
Like, maybe-
seeking out a good version
Yeah,
of.
maybe
like,
it's water.
yeah.
You're weird.
There's some people like beer or wine
I'm
or
just
like
a tap.
yeah.
Maybe like pizza. Actually, I don't know,
that-
something like
yeah,
that.
I
I
Yeah.
don't
know
know.
that.
Who
Cool.
knows?
Yeah, I love pizza too.
So you guys
We'll
want to
do
get
an episode
into
of that.
this next section of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. I'm
So-
excited for this.
I'm on my way here. Andrew texted me. I'm actually gonna be a little bit late, so I said, "Okay, got a little time to kill."
Good. Me too.
What do I do? Stop by 4 local coffee shops.
Yes.
Very some like ones you might not have heard of.
Okay.
We got Starbucks. You got Dunkin'
here's
Donuts.
Chris coming with his podcast sponsorships again. My
course.
God.
So I got 4 cups of coffee. We got Starbucks, Dunkin', McDonald's, and
Yeah.
Cumberland Farms, which
Okay.
is a gas station around here. I
Right.
don't know if that's nationwide, but
So we say that about everything we bring up on this
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah, because we don't know because we've
No,
never
Cumberland
listened.
is like Cumberland, Rhode Island, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty
it's
sure.
probably nationwide by now.
Yeah, so I brought him. What I did was I got black iced coffee for everyone. Like I said, we're in the middle of our Whole30 diet, so
Yep.
we can't have any
Yeah, no-
milk or
no
sugar.
You
flavor.
could have iced coffee.
Which is a
though.
bummer because originally I wanted to do a live taste test of a pumpkin spice latte, but
You know what? We could do that more into the fall. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll
yeah,
do it again.
yeah.
fall activities.
We'll be done with Whole30 soon.
So I'm gonna get up, but I poured the coffee into red Solo cups. Got everyone
Nice.
a straw. We're gonna be
Oh.
passing the cups around and giving a little taste test. If you guys want to talk for a minute while I set this up.
All right. Now I've had coffee from every one of these establishments.
Okay, so I've only had
What have you had?
Starbucks and Dunkin', but I've never had the ice. Like
Now-
I cannot think of a time I've had iced coffee ever.
Chris
so.
told me actually. This is an embarrassing story. Chris is off mic, so hopefully he doesn't hear me. He ordered the Dunkin' Donuts and he said, "I'll have a venti iced coffee at Dunkin' Donuts." What a fool! That's a Starbucks thing.
The other day I ordered a tall from Starbucks. That was a
What's
good
a tall?
feeling.
It's a tall, the smallest
Tall
one.
is small, yeah.
Insane.
So insane.
All right. So now we got him in front of us.
We got them in
We
front of
3
us.
straws.
I got 3 straws, which I got from Dunkin' Donuts, as to not confuse anyone.
Good.
Trying
choice.
to think about the best way to do this. We got 4 cups that look very similar. Maybe we
Nice.
each take a sip out of one and we kind of talk through what we're tasting.
Yeah.
That's kinda what I was
Now,
thinking.
what's the goal here? Are we supposed to guess which one's which?
I think we're gonna rank them.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
then-
think we should just rank them.
And
There
this is
doesn't
a
need to be
blind
like
taste
that.
test.
Oh,
On
right,
the
okay.
bottom of the cup, I've written a letter signifying which one's which.
Nice. All right. I'll start with this one.
Yeah.
We're all going to start with the same one, right?
Yeah, let's do
now,
that.
now, one issue is.
Yeah,
the
one
ice
issue is I
almost
bought this about
completely-
an hour ago at
Almost
this
completely
point.
melted. But here I go for my first sip. This is Alex's first sip.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
Oh, that's a great
Oh,
sip.
that was so quick.
And that's good. That's good. That's real good.
So
right,
yeah.
I
So
guess
one
I'll try
thing
this one.
I was curious of is if I'd be able to tell the difference because like you said, I've drank it all 4 of these before.
Right. See, I could already tell it's like something about buying coffee.
That is pretty good.
It tastes like an iced coffee I bought at a quick coffee shop, whereas I've had iced coffee that tastes different. There's so. Like, it certainly is not a cold brew. I don't think. Maybe it is.
No, and I will say all of these are just the standard
Standard
black
iced
coffee. I didn't want to.
Yeah, good. Less
Right.
variables.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
That was
pretty
good.
That
Yeah,
was
that was
all
good.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
should we go
I have
to
a
the
guess,
second one?
but
I'll go for the next one. I'm
Okay,
gonna
do
guess.
we guess? Oh no, we guess at the end. I
Yeah.
guess.
I'll guess. Let's guess right now. I'm gonna guess that was Dunkin'.
I think so too. Yeah,
Right.
because I just had
I
Dunkin'.
think so too.
I'm gonna
yeah.
go. Yeah, Chris
All
doesn't know
right.
because the cups are upside down, or the cups are upside
The
down.
cups are upside down.
Oh, I did just.
Letters
The writings
on
on the bottom.
All right,
Yeah.
my second sip of
All
cup
right.
number 2.
Here we go. Alex.
Oh, jeez,
dude.
that one was worse than the first one.
That was good. That's a good one. This one's better than
Really?
cup 1.
Chris, you drink from my straw? Oh no, you didn't.
You look good.
All right, here we go.
Andrew's going,
I'd say this is a lot of coffee.
and
so we're
there's a
probably not gonna
disgusted
finish
look
all
on
of
his face because he's shaking his head because it's not water.
He thought it was water. Every time I sip this, I feel really weird. I can't
this
explain it.
This is a weird thing we're doing.
I
for
think
sure.
I've just like never
Mm.
had this drink before. My body is
Yeah.
like, it feels like it like my heart skips a beat. Like honestly.
That's love, man.
Yeah.
This one I would say is better than the
Yeah,
first
I'd
one.
say so too.
I
I think
agree.
I know
I
which
It's
one
agree.
got
this
more
is.
of a coffee taste. I'm saying
I'm not sure. I
this
know.
one's either McDonald's or Starbucks.
I'm pretty
starting to
sure
think
it's. I'm pretty sure it's Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah, because I think Starbucks has.
I'll go with Starbucks too. Then.
Starbucks to me has like a more of a coffee taste than any
Yeah,
of the
you're
other
right.
coffees.
Okay, sorry.
if that makes sense.
Let's get this one out of the way. This is
Yeah.
the one we already
Okay,
tried,
I
so I'm
think
gonna move this over
Starbucks
here,
kind of has
This
like
one too.
a.
and I'll move this
Does
too.
Starbucks taste like burnt to you?
No, I've heard that from a lot of people. I guess. I mean, it tastes different.
It tastes
so maybe
like darker. You know, I don't know.
it definitely
something
tastes
about
darker.
All right.
I do like dark roast coffee though. That's what I usually
Mm.
buy.
See, I'm more into the lighter roast typically.
Okay, because I think dark roast has more caffeine.
Yeah.
So maybe I think you should start drinking.
Wait, are you right about that? I think I've heard the light roast. has
Really?
more
Oh,
caffeine.
I'll just look it up while Alex.
All right,
think
this
it's-
is the
taking
third
a
cup.
sip.
I think it's something to do with like the brewing process. I don't really
Light
know.
roast versus dark roast caffeine. Light roast coffee,
Ooh,
caffeine.
This one tastes pretty good too.
Uh,
Here you go. Oh, here you go.
oh, caffeine
Whoever's going.
mitts, which has more.
See, this one, it's almost like a split between the two.
Mm.
Like the first one was
This one's-
acidic, which I didn't like. Second one was very bold and dark.
Yeah.
This one's like right down the middle.
Yeah, this one.
Wait,
This
which
one
one am I
tastes.
trying?
This
This
one's
here.
smooth. I might have to say
Okay.
this one might be McDonald's.
Really?
It says that it's a myth that they're different and they both
Yeah.
have a pretty
Oh.
similar amount
Yeah.
of caffeine.
Well, we've both been duped, Chris.
We're all wrong. I'd say this one's just okay. You know, this one tastes like coffee.
This one's in the middle for me, to be honest. This is number
Mm.
3 so far for me.
I like this one.
But you're right. It's
Mm.
just okay.
Yeah, like this.
This
it's
one
making
was
me
kind of
think
watery,
This
but
might be the
it
gas
was good.
station one.
I see what you mean by that last one being burnt, though. I
Yeah,
think that
right.
one was
That's what
Starbucks.
Chris said.
Yeah,
See,
like-
I
So you think
thought-
this is
I
the
thought it
gas
was just
station one?
bolder.
All
I
right,
think
so
that
I'm
might be
excited. I'm
Cumberland
excited for the
Farms.
McDonald's.
And this is
one,
my
'cause you
last.
guys
This
have
is the
had
last
a
one.
Hmm.
lot of good things to say about this McDonald's one. If it's the McDonald's one. Yeah.
See, this one's similar to the first one for me,
Hmm.
Okay.
which is not a compliment.
Hmm.
So
But
that
maybe-
second one is your favorite then?
See, now I'm worried because I said McDonald's has the best coffee.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to think I'm wrong because I think this one might be McDonald's, and it's not my favorite.
I didn't think that one was that good.
This one?
That was probably my least favorite. Yeah.
I said that's what I said. I think this one I didn't like.
This one's all right. I think this one. It's just. So should we try to figure out which one's which?
Yeah. Well, let's get. So we said the consensus was first one was Dunkin', then
Yeah.
Starbucks, gas station, then McDonald's.
That's what I think.
That's what we think they are, but that's
Yeah.
not a rank.
No, I know. That's what
Yeah.
we think.
See, I'll.
See, I think the third one was McDonald's and this one's gas station. To be
Okay.
honest.
All right. We'll see. I don't know what my rank would
And
be.
then no, wait, we got to rank them first.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
all
say my personal rank. The third one I think was the worst for me.
I like the third
The
one.
third one was the best.
Really?
Yeah,
one.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
For me, it goes third, second, and then I guess fourth, first. But they're pretty close.
Really?
To last.
I agree, Alex. I might go first, fourth, but third,
Yeah.
second, first, fourth.
I'm
something
trying to
like
think. So third was the worst. Second was the best. No.
And I'm the one with the hairy chest.
I'd say I'm not big on the. I don't know for sure. The second one was Starbucks, but I'm not a big fan of that. The like darker
Yeah.
roasted flavor. So that one might be third.
See, you know what?
And then I think those other two for me were a toss up. The first and last. So kind of the opposite.
At
of each other.
first place.
For
toss
first
up.
place,
Wow.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's
All right,
figure out
here's
what
what
they
we're
are,
gonna do.
then.
It. We're gonna each look at one cup.
Mm-hmm.
So the first cup that we tasted is off to the side. I have the second one. Alex, you have the fourth, and Chris has the third.
Mm.
All right.
So we're gonna look right now and then reveal.
M for McDonald's.
Okay. Yeah, S for Starbucks. So we
So
were right about that.
I was right about this one. Oh no, this is the fourth
That
one.
was the fourth one. That one
Oh,
wasn't
so
that
I was
good.
wrong. You're
I'm
right.
pretty sure this is a D. It
It's
got
got
smudged.
A D.
D. And that was the third one?
And this one is a C. What is that?
Cumberland
C,
Farms.
C for Cumberland, D for Dunkin'.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the
All right, so
Dunkin'
let's
one
figure
was the
this
worst
out.
one.
This is rough audio for the podcast.
The Dunkin' one. Oh, that's interesting. So
Dunkin'
I thought
was-
Cumberland and Dunkin' tasted
Similar.
Dunkin', we
Wait,
put
Dunkin'
a
was
3.
your favorite.
Dunkin' was your favorite. And I've been quoted saying I didn't like Dunkin's
Wow.
coffee.
Exposed.
And McDonald's, which now, granted, I said McDonald's was good with cream, but still,
This is black.
Wow.
McDonald's is black.
Wow.
So the rankings were, for me, it was Dunkin' number 1, Starbucks number 2, McDonald's and Cumberland Farms basically
Yeah.
tied for
And
last.
for me, I said McDonald's and Cumberland were my favorites. Cumberland, I think, is the one I have the most. That doesn't spread me that much. And then I guess Starbucks, then Dunkin', which surprising. I thought I was a Dunkin' man.
See, I'm surprised
this
because
this is mind
or I'm
blowing.
almost happy because Dunkin' and Starbucks are much pricier than McDonald's and Cumberland Farms.
Yeah, for sure.
Like double the price.
Yeah.
So now at least I like it. So it's like, all right, I'll pay for better coffee.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess that's
This
true.
was a wild
And so we had the
segment.
same rankings, Andrew, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
basically. Splitting hairs on the last two, but I don't
Crazy.
even know.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this.
That's fun, yeah.
They all tasted good. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They did all taste good.
I will say just another little insider story. We talked about doing this episode a few weeks ago, and I told the guys I was gonna basically pick up this coffee.
Yeah.
And then you said, we're actually recording something else, and I'd already bought.
coffee.
I'd already bought one of the coffees. Luckily, not the second, so
Oh,
I just
good.
drank the coffee.
nice.
That'd be a fun story.
Nice. All right.
Cool. So should we get into ratings?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do quick ratings.
Yeah, let's do
We're
it quick.
kinda
So
going kinda long.
this section we rate the hobby on a scale from 1 to 10, and we say yay or nay. Will you continue doing the hobby with coffee? How are we gonna rank this? Are we gonna say
I guess more of like the hobby behind it, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
actually go
Like,
and
get
try to
into
make
coffee.
myself good coffee.
Yeah, or get yourself good coffee, experiment maybe.
like Andrew would never go to, before this podcast at least, Andrew wouldn't have gone to Intelligentsia.
No.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
so
but for me it was a 10.
that wouldn't have been a yay, but you would have. So it's a yay. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Alright.
go. I'll go.
Yeah,
That's
go
fine.
for it.
Sure.
Go for it.
Coffee as a drink, 10 out of 10 for sure. Best drink. Period.
What?
I think it's the best drink.
No joke. I would say water is the best drink.
All right.
You'd also
Water's-
say vanilla is the best ice cream.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
cheese is the best pizza. All
Water-
that stuff is true.
That's like true.
My personality, vibrant.
I'm saying water. I'm saying like there are drinks that are tastier than coffee, but coffee is tried and true, baby.
Mhm.
Every day I could drink it.
Classic.
Coffee as a hobby, pretty good. It's interesting. It involves the best drink. 8.5 out of 10. Yay!
Wow,
I'm sticking with it.
that's a good ranking.
Andrew,
All right.
let's hear it.
Yeah, so I'd say that I'm not super into coffee, as you guys could probably tell. I think it tastes okay. I don't know. I guess this is... I feel like I was kind of, like I was saying, I was asking my roommates and other people just like, should I start drinking coffee?
Is
Should I
this
start drinking
episode
coffee?
sponsored by your roommates?
Yeah. And this has like made me, like talking this out with you guys kind of made me realize like probably not going to do it. I actually am not that interested. Like I thought maybe I'd be like a little more, and maybe after Whole30 I'll try some other flavors, but
Yeah.
for right now I got to go 3 nay.
Wow.
I have no real interest in
Wow.
it. Don't really like it as a hobby, and yeah, that's it.
All right.
Wow.
I'm upset, but whatever. We'll get over it.
What I'll say about coffee is I think it's one thing about it. It's kind of like a common denominator among a lot of people. Not everyone, but
Yeah,
you
it's
go to a
good.
thing and like
You're right.
everyone's drinking coffee. A lot of people like coffee. I think it's something that like most people are into. So when you're in a big setting, everyone's
Yeah.
drinking coffee. That's good. Another thing about coffee we didn't touch on is like the idea of like going out for coffee as like a date.
It's a date, yeah.
Exciting.
It goes around with like that culture behind it. Like,
Little anecdote. First date with my current girlfriend, went out for coffee, but I made it at like 5 o'clock, which is not a good time to get
Oh,
coffee.
no.
So we ended up getting soup instead. Pretty weird.
and you drank it. You said, "Oh, so could you put it in a mug?"
Well,
I
yeah.
know it's weird. I'm
I
on a
got to
date.
salvage this somehow.
Imagine if I pictured Chris being the only
It was
one with
very
soup
poorly planned.
in a mug, drinking it like coffee, just so his girlfriend thought he was drinking coffee.
Yeah.
God, I don't want her to know.
I
It's
doubt it.
broccoli cheddar, for God's sakes.
But I'd also say I like seeking out good coffee places, kind of like
Yeah.
we talked about. But I also like bad coffee. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
I
That's
think-
why it's the best drink.
and I like making coffee in all sorts of different ways. I think it kind of, and I'm also into like,
Yeah, you guys really do like this.
Yeah, I love it.
One thing, another thing to
10 out of
mention,
10. I'm chasing my rating.
we didn't bring up, but the last time we went to visit Andrew at his house up in Western
Yep.
Massachusetts, me and Alex left for a minute without Andrew to go buy
go
some
get coffee.
beans from some good coffee.
Yeah,
places,
and
which
those are really
Mhm.
good.
Those
That
are
coffee
really
was
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
that place is good.
So-
so I've heard.
I dabbled with giving coffee a perfect rating. I'll tone it down a little bit. I think I got to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's no disc golf.
The thing is, I dabbled with the perfect rating too.
Yeah.
That's why I said coffee as a
Wow.
drink is a 10
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'm in a definitely.
Mostly because
less than
there is
That's
a
crazy.
there's a snobbiness to coffee that like
Mhm.
it's like embarrassing. You
I think
know?
with me, it's
I wouldn't
like
want to be known as a coffee snob. Not
'Cause
that
I
it's-
like-
whatever. It's people could be into whatever they want.
Because I like seeking out good beer. That's like something
Yeah.
I'm kind of into. But I honestly think I'm more into coffee than beer.
Oh, I would agree 100% with
yeah.
that. And I'm the same way. I love good beer. Like we said in home
I don't
brewing.
care about wine.
It's so
So
interesting.
it's like I get why, like, I don't know. I
So,
get why
yeah.
people are into it, but that's not for me.
So you said 9.5?
I'll go 9. 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
For
keep
sure.
drinking this coffee. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
sipping on it.
Which one
That's
do I
it.
have? McDonald's, the best one, even though it got last place.
All right,
All right.
so now we are going to transition to the next section of the show. The section's called What's on Your Mind. It's where we talk about what's on our mind. Each week we get a theme song submission by one of our loyal fans. This week we got a submission by fan of the show, Joe.
Get your coffee from the folks that know coffee inside and out. For over 60 years, we've kept America running with our dedication to serving the freshest cup of coffee. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
All right, thanks, Joe. So now we're going to read. We usually start this off with a fan submission from What's on Your Mind. This week we got a submission. Who do we get it from? Someone have it out?
Once again,
Yeah, it's another update. What's on your mind?
once again, our friend and co-host Matt is coming through because he.
Listen, he was a
co-host.
guest host.
Oh yeah, guest
A
host.
one-time guest host.
Sorry.
Somehow he's sneaking his way back in 2 more episodes.
He-
What's on your mind?
Once again, did not. Or last time he did not.
This is Matt from the guest
the movies
guest host
episode.
of the episode. Movies.
Talking about that Roman numeral movies, trying to
Mhm.
really hash this out. He responded again and saying he realized that he did not really answer it at all.
No,
All
he
he
just-
said was that
he just
he was
plugged
doing
his
it
music
since the
video.
beginning and plugged his music video, which is almost done.
And so I'd explain,
Show
just
me the
for
rough
the fans
cut.
at home who missed this. So, Andrea, what's on your mind?
Right.
Why do movies end with the year in Roman numerals?
Yes.
Is that basically it?
Mhm, yeah.
Matt attempted to answer, but
Just so they've been doing it since the beginning.
yeah.
So he said,
Like, nah, not really an answer.
thanks
Yeah.
for the pod shout. Realized I never did answer the question. So here's another pod shout, and here's the full answer. Okay, the full answer, as rumored. Studios added the Roman numerals to disguise the date on films, as they feared people wouldn't want to see older work.
Ooh, that's
Actually,
interesting.
that's a great
This
answer.
was carried on for many years, which I think kind of phased out around the 80s. The reason I said it's coming back is just that I've seen a lot of music videos lately using it, kind of as an old school cool thing. So yeah, I'll toss it in mine for fun. Matt,
Nice.
stop
Yeah, plug in
plugging
his
your
music
own
video.
music
Plug in
video.
his
This
music
is
video.
ridiculous.
That's insane.
Oh, and then check this out. Second theory: Roman numerals are easy to read when the film itself ages, as the curves of the numbers can fade into being
Oh.
illegible.
That's pretty interesting.
Mm.
I like the idea
Cool.
of like a silent movie. The creators of the silent movie were like, dang, I don't want people, in theory, maybe if they're watching this movie in like 2017, I don't want them to know it's an old movie. Let's put a Roman numeral. It's like,
They won't know what that
dude, this
means.
is clearly there's no CGI. This is an old movie.
That's funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
But
thanks
that
for
is
the
really
answer, man.
that is really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is like actually pretty interesting.
And I like the idea of like going back to it because it's like a retro thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd say if any of the fans at home, if usually we don't know what we're talking about. So if you have any answers to anything that we're saying, email it.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, email it at I-need-a-hobbypod.com, I believe.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's
I-need-a-hobbypod@gmail.com, I believe, is that email you
Yes.
could use
Email.
for what's on your mind.
Awesome. Well, Alex, you want to tell us what's on your mind?
Yeah, I'll share. So, folks at home maybe don't know, but Chris and I are training for some races,
Mhm.
some running races that are
Sure.
coming
Ooh.
up. So I went for a run the other day. 10 miles, I don't want to brag. But it was long. It was tough. So I'm going out.
10 miles.
I usually do an out and back. So I went out 5 miles, turned around, came back. I
Mm-hmm.
run on this it's like a trail. It's like a paved running trail or walking trail.
Sure.
People walk their dogs. I one time saw a cat in a stroller. I talked about on the podcast.
Yeah,
That was on the
yeah.
same trail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going for a run on this trail. It's great. Have a good time. Listen to some podcasts, maybe some music. And I see this is on a Saturday. I see a finish line, like a road race just happened or something. So I was like, oh, nice. Little Saturday road race. That must have been fun. It's a perfect place
I
for it.
remember
It's
this from
it's
your
a great,
Snapchat.
It's a great trail. So I'm like, that's nice. So I keep running. I hit the 5 mile mark. Phew. I'm tired. I'm so good at running, I say to myself. Not many people
I
can
can't
do
believe
10
I've
miles.
done 5 and I'm going to do 5 more.
Turn around. I keep running back, and I approach this finish, or what I now realize, starting line, and there are more people there, but not people like there's a road race that just happened. So I was like, oh, maybe a road race is about to happen. That's cool. So I keep going. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of a road race.
Oh no!
And I'm in the back of the pack. And this is a trail, so it's very thin.
Yeah.
And I'm passing people left and right. I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And then I get to a corner where I have to go straight, and everyone's got to turn. And there's a guy directing traffic, and he's like trying to tell me to turn. And I'm like, oh, I'm not in this. But I take my headphones out, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on? He goes, oh, it's a 5K. You could get free beer and food at the end.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I got to do it. So I start going, and he goes, oh, just tell him you lost your number. Then I was like, oh, I can't do that. That's too mean. So I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But isn't that cool? I could have stolen beer and food.
That is a good story.
I love the like free stuff atmosphere. Like not in like I don't want to steal from like clubs or at school or something, you know, but like stealing from like a thing like that.
Like
is
a red race, bunch of people paid for it.
Yeah, it's like,
exactly.
you know,
And
who
then it
cares?
doesn't hurt.
I'm here. So.
Today I went for a run.
Oh boy.
12 miles. It was tough. I don't want to brag. Little did I know, they're having a Boston Marathon walk going on today.
Oh yeah.
Next thing I know, I find myself in the middle of this walk.
Oh, no.
And I'm coming from the back of the pack, so I got to pass all these walkers.
You're dominating this
Basically,
race.
twice this month, I've been, running into a road race.
That's hilarious. I had a similar
Goodness.
story where I ran to a finish line of a race, and I saw it was a 10K and they had a clock up, and the time on the clock was 32 minutes, which like is very good.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's like it's just almost conceivable that I could do that.
Yeah.
So I like gave it like to the people like with my hand up, and they all like were like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "I'm just kidding." I would have
funny.
been the first one across the line though, so they were all like, "Oh, we thought you were the leader." It was just,
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it. Just a little fun little story to share.
Great story, Andrew. You got anything
All right. Yep. Here's what's on my mind this week. Kind of random. Probably not that good also. But it's something that I thought of
Thanks
is
for
like,
warning us.
I was like kind of like redesigning my room for this new school year. And I went to Lowe's to get some stuff, right?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this thought like Home Depot versus Lowe's, in my opinion, is the perfect, like, whatever the opposite of a monopoly is, you know? No one has any preference whether they're going to Home Depot or whether they're going to Lowe's. It's just perfect that one can't drive up the prices. It's just a really well done system. And I feel like no one's complaining. You never hear like on the cell phone commercials, it's always like, we're better than Verizon.
Yeah.
They got the Verizon guy to badmouth Verizon.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one on Lowe's is saying, I hate Home
better
Depot.
than-
And even
They're
with
just competitors. They're working together.
with like fast foods, everyone's got their preferences.
Right.
No one's got a preference.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
this.
That's what I'm saying. With Home Depot and Lowe's, it's like the perfect like whatever's good is fine with me. Like, all right, you like
Home Depot to me seems almost more like outdoorsy. Like if I was going to build an outdoor garden or something, I'd go to Home Depot. But I don't know why.
But Home
I think
Depot
that.
probably has that stuff too.
Well, like,
Yeah, Lowe's probably has that too.
No
Like,
one's gonna complain. Like if you're with someone's like, oh, I need to get some screws or something. It's like, all right, you want to go to Lowe's? It's like,
What are you
dude,
thinking?
Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm a Home Depot guy.
Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I just like the idea, and also those stores are like massive.
They are
and, like,
huge.
That's like
They're
that's like
huge.
kind of a fun thing is like going in there and being like, okay, wow, this is
It's true.
This is
It's
kinda
like
wild.
it's like what I think of America. Like these massive stores. Like think about when people colonized America. They're like, we'll have a small. Home Depot over here. It's just like a shack. Now, like America is all about like industrial sized everything. So the Walmart's the size of a small city.
That's like the one place that if I were to go into, I will never try to like look for stuff on my own.
I
I'll
just-
immediately.
That's the
just
other thing
ask,
is
like,
the
it's
people.
just huge.
The people there are like I've been to a Home Depot maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, only with my parents. The people, and then for some reason, I think the people there are so nice.
Yeah, I
they'll
agree.
always help you find whatever you need
At Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah,
They both work, and they're
Yeah.
both. It's just the culture of home improvement, bro.
and if you want to
It's
buy
just a good thing.
screws, you could use our discount code.
Yeah.
But
We're sponsored by Home Depot and Lowe's somehow.
Yeah,
you know what?
so that's it.
They would sponsor each other though, because you're right. It's friendly.
Yeah, go like a Home Depot commercial. It's like, and also check out Lowe's because we're closed on Sundays or something like that.
You know what would
That's
stink?
nice. Probably aren't closed.
What
on
if you
Sundays.
found out, like with like I know it's a thing with a bunch of sunglasses brands, that it's actually just one big parent company,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's really all
That
just
would
the same
be
company.
kind of sad.
What if
'cause
that's the thing with Home Depot and Lowe's?
that would actually suck because I
Yeah.
feel like it's a really perfect. I don't know. No one can drive up the prices. They're friends.
I bet like the CEOs
running
go
through
and
the
get
mud.
lunch like once a week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they get
probably.
coffee.
Yeah, probably.
They go flip houses. I don't know.
Something like that.
For fun.
All right, Chris,
But
what's on your mind?
Here's what's on my mind. So this weekend I spent some time at my old college campus.
Yeah, the old alma mater.
The old alma mater. And I went to a little convenience store, picked up some stuff that was on the campus. and they asked to see my student ID just because I think you get like a little discount or something like that.
Nice, great.
I do have my student ID still in my wallet, but they were like scanning it, so I didn't give it to them.
Yeah.
Well, why not? You could have tried it.
Could have tried.
Could've tried, for
yeah,
sure.
I just like was foreseeing an awkward like, oh, it doesn't work.
Chris
like,
is his inner monologue again.
Yeah.
No, she's on to me.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a fake. We're gonna have to take it like.
Yeah.
No, that's what's the word? Sentimental.
Yeah. So my
That's
question
sentimental.
to both of you
It's a
guys,
keepsake.
and to the world maybe, is should I be carrying the school ID in my wallet, or is that like a little bit weird?
I'd say you bet. Because you can always get into situations like that. Like,
yeah.
Like as a grad student, like I'll be in places and they're like, "You're a student, right?" And then I'm like, "I guess yeah." So like I'll be able to use
Yeah.
it to get discounts. But it's kind of like if people will assume that you might be a student,
That's true.
then you can show your ID. I don't know.
See, I agree with you because I always see like I'm sure there's lists online of like all the places you could use your college ID to
Yeah.
get discounts, and I'm sure you can save a ton of money. But I've been out of college for over a year.
Right.
I don't know if I've used it a handful of
Yeah,
times.
that's
Yeah.
You
probably
know,
true.
There's the one place I buy running shoes. I will say I'm a student and get a
It works,
discount.
yeah.
like maybe I should be asking more.
I don't know if they've.
But
been
what's like
places are you
this
gonna
is
say
like
yes?
your lunchbox thing. Like, what's the negative of? You think someone's gonna be like, oh, like,
Well, I don't
saw
know.
Chris
Your
with his ID in his wallet.
Wallets get cluttered.
Well, I
Like,
will also
I
say
get cards
for-
that I take
for a
out.
period of time, I got a new license because mine expired, and I would still carry around my old license. Like that felt silly to me.
That's weird for
Uh,
sure. No,
just
that
because
is
like I
weird.
didn't take it out, and I'm like, okay, I have this
Yeah.
picture, which is just like asking for someone to make fun of me, kind of.
I mean, what? Imagine if like I need some ID. Oh, I got two for you. You would get arrested.
Yeah, I would go straight to jail. Yeah,
So yeah, I would say keep it.
keep it.
Yep.
All right, I'm keeping it in my wallet.
Yeah, I'd say. You know what? No, yeah. Let's keep it.
Well, I'd say my wallet. I have a big wallet too, which I've been thinking about maybe getting a new wallet. Maybe just down.
See, that's something I think about all the time. But like,
My wallet's
I'm
fine.
the only one who ever sees my wallet. So
Yeah,
it's not like
it
I'm going to be
doesn't-
making a
like I
fashion
think
statement.
that too because I don't know. Like my wallet's been fine, so
Yeah.
might as well just.
I would never get like a money clip or anything. That's
Oh, I've used money clips.
Really?
I like
This
doing
is
that.
kinda
To be
weird, yeah.
honest,
I
it
don't
makes
know.
me feel cool.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
don't
other
like-
people can't see it.
I don't really like when they're like exposed and you pull out all your cash, you know.
Yeah,
Not like I have
it's
a ton of
annoying.
cash,
It's
but-
annoying. Actually, I lost a money clip at a bar one time.
Hmm.
So I think if I started using a money clip again, I won't bring it. I would like
Another thing
only bring it for basic stuff.
is that I think is worth bringing up is that Chris still uses his school email as his personal email.
Oh, that is true.
That's
yeah.
insane.
That's a little weird. I think.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you even still have that?
We
Well,
get it
it-
forever.
Do you have yours still?
Yeah,
Alex?
but I don't use it.
Because I feel like .edu email addresses are like sought after.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that does expire eventually, doesn't
Ours
it?
doesn't. Yeah,
Really?
they
Mine
made it
does.
so we can
I
have
think
them forever.
I'm shocked that you keep it forever.
I would
Yeah.
keep it for
but
sure
also
because
it's
you could get.
it definitely is like maybe once we shed the recent college grad label, it's
Yeah,
time for a new email.
you could
That's
use
true.
that email to get discounts.
Yeah,
even.
that's
Yeah.
one
So I
reason.
wanna,
but
like,
I'd
it
say
can be like
another
a
thing
spam
with
email.
me is like, and sounds so lame, but I have a very common name. Like
yeah,
my
Yeah.
first, last, and middle name all together.
Wait.
It's like incredibly common.
right.
So I have so much trouble finding a good email. Like, and
Yeah.
I haven't tried in a while, but it's like every combination with
dude.
every number, and I don't want a bunch of random
I was
numbers.
pissed because I just made a new email account like not actually like almost a year ago now,
Yeah.
and I wanted to use like my name, my first letter of my first name, my middle initial,
You're
and
trying
then my
to
last
hide your
name,
first name. It's A.
which is really an uncommon last name.
Yeah.
Like must be someone in Italy with it at gmail.com, and they had it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
annoying.
are you kidding
Well,
me?
someone criticized me the
so
other day
I
because
had to change it.
I have a Gmail, but I don't use it. So I have an AT&T email address.
Oh, I do
and someone
remember
criticized
that,
me.
yeah. That's a little weird.
And it's not. No, that's not weird.
All of
I'd
this
say
is
it's weird
weird.
that it's AT&T. I've never heard of anyone having that.
What?
Yeah,
but who
I agree with-
cares?
I agree.
I mean, I don't care, but it's
Dude, it's like
weird.
having Hotmail or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's fine though too.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's like
fine,
it's
but-
2017.
It's not
I don't
AOL.
know.
All right. Well, what I really want to say.
I'd say AT&T is weirder than AOL.
What?
Yeah, definitely.
AT&T is a dang phone company.
Yeah, but they provide internet service too.
I'm
well,
surprised you're getting so defensive.
Speaking of you have a common name.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up on the podcast, but it's probably not right to do. I have a friend
Mm-hmm.
who has a common last name too, and so his school email was first letter, then last name, first letter of his first name, and then his last name at our school.
Yeah.
And there was someone else with the same last name,
Mhm.
same first letter, so they have very similar to he uses his like middle initial maybe also.
Yeah, sure.
But this other guy had a girlfriend who was dishing out some bad news, maybe a breakup letter.
He got it.
Emailed it to him. My friend got it.
Oh my
She
God.
sent it the wrong email, and they know each other.
That's so funny.
So one of her friends had to go up to him and be like, "Listen," and this is his school email, so he hasn't checked it in a while.
Why
And
is
had
she
to be like,
emailing that?
"Listen, have you checked your email?" He's like, "No, not lately." Don't open the one from this person. And he opened it. It's like, oh, it's bad. I didn't read it, but
That's funny.
So-
Wait, so the girl found out first that like,
the girl knew that she sent it because the guy didn't respond.
Hmm.
or
so she
anything.
just sent it to the wrong
So
person.
she found out. Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's a classic mishap. You know, it all happens.
That is insane.
Yeah, that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It might, I don't
Probably
think it was a
broke his heart,
breakup,
too.
but like sometimes you get broken up with, and the girl wants to write you a letter.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or an
That
email.
happened.
That's
An email. That's.
In
I
this
think
day
that's
and
what
age.
Oh,
happened.
okay.
So I feel bad because it's extremely personal.
Yeah.
Like, that's
yeah.
a
Well, I mean,
heart wrenching thing to go through
definitely
for
got to
both
double
people.
check that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
hilarious.
All right.
And she didn't even put the attachment on. That's another thing you gotta double. People say, "Oh, look at the attached."
Yeah.
No attachment.
Wow.
She said, "Here's a picture of my broken heart. Look at it's attached. No attachment."
It's just a middle finger.
That's it.
All right.
All right, Chris. You wanna
Chris,
hit
yeah,
us
hit us
with
with
the
those
plugs?
Filling in with the
This
plugs.
episode?
So if you liked what you were listening, you want to hear more, I need a hobbypod.com. You find all things I Need a Hobby. Instagram, Snapchat, both I Need a Hobby Pod.
Yes.
We got some T-shirts. They're still
Yes.
selling.
Heck yeah.
Selling like hotcakes. Alex brought one in today. It looks great.
Yeah, it does look
Yep.
good.
It
It looks
looks
good in
really
So
good.
person.
support your local podcast. It's
Can I
on
feel
our
the shirt, Alex?
store.
Do you have it right there?
My shirt? The one oh, okay.
No, it's just
I wanted to feel my silk.
the hobby
somewhere.
pod.
Yeah, let me get it out of the bag
I think
here.
we posted some pictures of it. It's on our shop though, and it looks great.
Oh, yeah.
It'll help support our podcast.
This is a nice one.
Fits well.
Support your local podcast.
Quality cotton. I think it's cotton.
Yeah, it is cotton.
All right. Yeah. So check it out.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's pretty much
That's
it.
it.
All right. See you guys next week.